Magandang araw. Ako si Kui Code. Welcome back to my channel where I teach Python through front-end practical examples. In this video, we're going to be continuing to go through our software design patterns. So this video is about the facade pattern. So a facade is a class that provides a simple interface to a complex subsystem which contains lots of moving parts. A facade might provide limited functionality in comparison to working with the subsystems directly. However, it only includes a few of the parts that we care about. So this pattern involves a single class which provides simplified methods required by the client and delegates calls to methods of the existing subsystem classes. So I'm going to make a few classes here just to kind of show an example without the facade pattern, and then it's actually very easy to add the facade pattern afterwards. So I'll make a class called renderer. We will have def, let's say draw player. Just make this very simple. We have an X and a Y position for the player, and then we can just have a print statement that says drawing player at X, Y. So that's just our first example class. I'll just copy and paste this and change everything. Second one will just be audio player. Instead of drawing player, it'll be play sound. And then we can have some text that says playing sound. This will be sound name instead. And then the last one will just be a game state, which we'll have an init method here as well. Self. And then self.player underscore position equals, we'll just default it to 0, 0 with like that. And then instead of drawing player, this will be move player. We'll have dx and dy just so it's different. Then we can do x and y equals self.player position. I spelled that wrong. Forgot the O. Oh, come on. Okay. And then self.player position equals x plus dx, y plus dy. So this is just the current position, and then you have the new position, like the current position and then the new position to move the player. And like I said, this is all just pseudocode because obviously we're not going to actually be moving anything. It's just for the sake of the example. And then we'll just have this like that. So these are just the three subclasses, like our subsystems. So imagine this is an API, and a client is going to have to call and interact with these classes. So state equals game state, renderer equals game, renderer, make that lowercase, and then audio equals audio player, and then we'll just call these methods inside of these. So state dot move player, say 1 1, and then renderer dot draw player, and we could just do state dot player position, and then simply imagine we had whenever we're moving, we have audio involved with that, so play sound, and I guess that's not what I wanted to do. For play sound, it doesn't matter, we can just type in whatever sound name we want, like footsteps or something. So if we go ahead and run this, we should get exactly what we would expect. You move, and then the screen updates with the new position, and then it just plays the sound effects, which I mean generally is fine. But imagine if this was a lot more complicated, the client would need to know that it has to do all these, and maybe these have a lot of different parameters, and there's just a lot more stuff involved. Um, but with the facade pattern, and in my opinion, facade pattern is probably one of the most easy patterns I can think of. Maybe it's probably roughly the same as the singleton pattern. I think the facade pattern and the singleton pattern actually probably go well together because I'm not sure if you'd really need a bunch of different classes for the facade pattern. But what we're going to do very easily is just make a new class, called it Game Engine Facade. And then we can just def init, need the double underscores, self. And then what we can do is just self dot renderer equals renderer self dot audio. Actually, let me just copy these, move these here instead. Self dot. Okay, and then we'll just have another method that'll call all three of the methods that we have below. So move player and render self dx dy, and then we'll have new position equals self.state.move player, which is based off of this, but we'll just put in dx dy, and then self.renderer.draw player. Go put a new POS. Why is that giving me? Oh, forgot the semicolon. And then lastly, just self.audio. Play sound. Foot. Oops. Footstep. So it's very, and this is kind of why you can probably see now why it's one of the easier patterns, because all we did was we took the client code and moved it into its own class, and now all the client has to worry about is engine equals make the class engine dot move and render, pass in 1 1. And as you can see, I made a mistake. This needs to be iterable. Let me just stop that for a second. Wait, let me see. This is move player. Oh, that's why. It's because for move player, you would just actually return self.player underscore position. Because this is going to return two values, x and y. So this is going to have two values, which means we have to unpack it. So that should work. I need to do one more thing. Let me just double check. Draw player, yes. Playing sound, yes. Yep, so it looks like that's it. We got our output. It doesn't actually say, like in this previous example, it did show moving player moved. But we're just returning the value instead. I guess technically we could put some text in here for, and actually let's just do that quickly. That could just be like inside of here. because then it'll just be the exact same thing that we had in the other example. Yeah, there you go. Let me actually make this bigger. So now see we move the player, draw the player, playing sound footprints. It does the exact same thing, except the actual client, it's just easier to deal with this. And all of the details of rendering or having all these other classes and all the other details here are hidden, so you don't need to worry about that. It definitely makes that a lot easier. That's kind of the entire point of the facade pattern. So that's just a quick video. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of any other videos. And always let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. See you next time on Kuya Code. Paalam.